Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today I'm going to recommend you some winter reading recommendations. So these aren't necessarily just Christmas books, they are just winter reading recommendations. Something that might just give you all the feels, something that is Christmas related, something that's just winter related, something that has nostalgia to it maybe. So these are just some recommendations from me that I think are really nice to read around this seasonal period. So let's get into it because there's 10 on here. I'll try and go into the books a little bit, tell you briefly what they're about, but not too much because I don't like to spoil things like that. There is one book on here that I haven't read yet, but I'm planning on reading during December. I'm recommending it because I think it's going to be great and I've heard really good things. So the first book I'm going to recommend is The Christmas Sisters by Sarah Morgan. I'm recommending this book. I read it last year during Christmas period. It was fantastic. I really loved it. I listened to it on audio. It was outstanding on audio. I do recommend the audio book. This is following, I think it's 3 Christmas sisters who live in different parts of the world, and they're all got issues going on in their lives, and they're all coming together for Christmas, and they're all a bit nervous about it because they're going to have to go through their issues, tell people what's going on and things like that. There are breakups, there are career issues, there are relationships. Mum and dad are obviously involved in this as well, and it's just a really cutesy, wholesome contemporary that I just really loved. It gave me all of the feels and I really enjoyed it, and I do recommend it. I think I gave it 5 out of 5 stars if I remember correctly. It's very good. I love Sarah Morgan's writing anyway. She's a great author, and I do recommend you pick that one up, so go check that out. I did unhaul the book, I think, because I was making room on my shelves, so soz. Recommend it though. Next I'm going to recommend Northern Lights by Philip Pullman. The glare on this because it's so shiny. This is the first in the His Dark Materials series, The Subtle Knife being the second, The Ember Spyglass being the third. I recommend the whole series to be honest, but this one is fantastic. Very good. Off the back it says Lyra Balakwa and her animal Damon live half wild and carefree among the scholars of Jordan College, Oxford. Her destiny will take her to frozen lands of Arctic where witch clans reign and ice bears fight, and the extraordinary journey that awaits her will have immeasurable consequences far beyond her own worlds. I just really recommend this. 5 out of 5 stars. Also the audiobook is fantastic. It's narrated by Philip Pullman and a full cast. I highly recommend it. It's outstanding. Next I'm going to recommend Tom Fletcher's The Christmas Saurus. I adore this. It's 5 out of 5 stars from me. Really love it. This has got illustrations in it. It's about a young boy called William who is in a wheelchair. He is disabled. He no longer has the use of his legs after a car accident when he was younger, in which his mother died. So it's just him and his dad. His dad's obsessed with Christmas, really loves Christmas. We're also following Santa, and we're following this Christmas Saurus as well. William's obsessed with dinosaurs. There are elements of bullying in this which are really mean, but it sort of does a 180 and comes back around, which is great. And there is just like, for starters, it gives you an introduction to who the characters are. It's just so cute. I really love it. I adore it. The illustrations are gorgeous. Tom's writing's fantastic. This is literally written for children to read. I find that some middle grade novels are written for kids like early teens to read, whereas others are literally written for an adult to read, a child to read, a middle grade to read. They're written for anybody to read. This is literally one of those books. I just absolutely adore it. Fantastic, highly recommend. Can't wait to read the second one. Then I'm going to recommend Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. Just any of the Harry Potter books, to be perfectly honest. Nostalgia here for you. Obviously I don't need to explain what Harry Potter is, but I love reading Harry Potter around like the Christmas period. I only actually finished Harry Potter series for the first time last year at the age of 28. I know that's shocking, but I love the series. Since then I've reread it all again, so I think it's just going to be maybe a bit of a yearly thing where I make my way very slowly through the series, just keep rereading them, because why the hell not? But I love picking these. I just think they're perfect for around this period. I'm obsessed with this edition. I just think it's beautiful. The book that I'm going to recommend that I haven't read is Snow in Love, which is 4 short stories by Melissa Dela Cruz, Nick Stone, Amy Friedman and Casey West. I've picked this up solely based on the fact that I'm obsessed with Casey West books at the moment, but it's very short indeed, and I've heard good things about it. It's just 4 short stories that are contemporary and set around the Christmas period. So other than that, can't tell you much more because I haven't read it, but I'm going to recommend it anyway because I think it's going to be really, really good. Also, have you seen my little bookmark? How cute is that? It's for the guide dogs. I just think it's so cute. Anyway, distractions. Next, I'm going to recommend Frozen, which is one of the Disney animated classic books. This is so cute. I'm obsessed with Frozen anyway, but this is just adorable. These books in general, I would recommend any of them, but they are illustrated and they just basically follow the films, which is really, really good. So I don't think you need me to explain really what's going on with this, to be perfectly honest. But it's following 2 sisters, Anna and Elsa, and their relationship, and some things go down, and it's really, really good, and I highly recommend it. I just really love this book. It's a fast read as well, but it's cutesy and, you know, great for at Christmas time. Then I'm going to recommend a series that has absolutely nothing to do with Christmas whatsoever. It's just wholesome, it's contemporary, it is romance, but it's not only a romance between a man and a woman, which it is. There is an actual romance in here. There is a romance between a woman and a city. So a woman running away from her problems and moving to a city that she doesn't know. She completely falls in love with it and the people there. So it's just a romance in general, and then a romance with a girl in a city, and just a romance, you know, the whole thing is a romance. It's just the cutest thing and I adore it. The series I'm going to recommend is the I Heart series by Lindsay Kelk, starting with I Heart New York. There is an I Heart Christmas book in this, so obviously there is a Christmas read which is perfect for Christmas, but you need to be reading the series for it to make sense. We're following Angela Clark, who starts off at her best friend's wedding, Louisa's wedding, and she is looking for a boyfriend, her fiance essentially, finds him in the back of their car with another woman. Turns out he's been cheating on her. She freaks out. She ends up running away. This is based in the UK. She ends up running away, getting to the airport with literally her passport, her purse, the bridesmaid's dress she's wearing, her Louboutins, and maybe an overnight bag, I'm not sure, and gets on the first flight that she can see, which is headed to New York. When she lands at New York, she ends up going to the nearest hotel she can find and meets the concierge there, who is Jenny Lopez. Obviously not the J-Lo, but our Jenny Lopez, and they very quickly become really good friends. Jenny can see that Angela is distressed. She's really upset. As you can see, she's gone through hell and back in the last like 24 hours, and she wants to help her out. So Jenny and Angela end up becoming best friends, and it just follows them two essentially through their life over the course of the next, I don't even know how many years it is. It's several years, but I just friggin' love it. The last in the series, the 7th and final book, I think it's the 7th and final book, might be the 8th, I'm pretty sure it's the 7th. I Heart Hawaii it came out in May this year, and I friggin' loved it. I just love this series. I've reread it already several times, but I'm going to do a full reread I think next year, and I can't recommend it enough. But you can pick this up any time of the year, but I just think it's so wholesome and lovely that it just fills your heart with so much love, and you could pick it up at this time of year and it will be perfect to read in front of a fire. It's just gorgeous. I absolutely love it. Then I'm going to recommend Frostheart by Jamie Littler. Full disclosure, I haven't fully finished this yet. I've got about 130 pages to go, but I'm loving it so far. This is perfect for this time of year. Obviously at Frostheart, it is set in a world that is very cold and it's freezing, and we're following Ash, who is a young lad who's waiting for his missing parents to come back. They've been gone for a long time. He lives in a place where he doesn't feel like home at all. He's got a Yeti who is like his carer because he gets himself in a lot of trouble, and he reveals that he's got this magical element to him. He ends up on a ship called the Frostheart where he is trying to find his parents. He ends up aboard this ship and part of the crew. The captain is a walrus. Like, it's just so good. So his carer's a Yeti, the captain's a walrus. There's just so much fun in this. I'm loving the adventure. There are also some serious bits as well about it. There are a lot like leviathans that are chasing them, and I just really enjoy it. Lots of illustrations in the book. It's gorgeous, it's wholesome, it's funny, it's heartbreaking. I just love it. It's so good, such a good adventure. Second to last book I'm going to recommend is 'Twas the Night Shift Before Christmas by Adam Kay. I recommend listening to this on audio. Adam's narrated it himself. He did the book This Is Going to Hurt, so if you haven't listened to that, I would recommend listening to that first and then listening to this. But this is obviously set around Christmas. This is following Adam as a junior doctor over the course of 4 years on Christmas shifts, and it's very short indeed. But yeah, do recommend listening to This Is Going to Hurt first if you haven't, before you pick this up, because it will make a lot more sense. You're basically following Adam and his junior doctor days. When he was a junior doctor, they had to keep diaries, and these are his diaries of patients that he's dealt with or situations he's dealt with at work that day, etc. How he's feeling during his junior doctor time, how it's affecting his life outside of work, things like that. It's really good, hard-hitting, funny. Really loved it, highly recommend it. And then finally I'm going to recommend an absolute Christmas classic, which is The Christmas Carol. I just love this story. I listen to it every single year on audio, and it's just so much fun. We are following Scrooge, who obviously, I don't think I need to tell you the story of this. Scrooge gets visited. He is a grumpy old sod and he doesn't like Christmas, and he gets visited by 3 Christmas ghosts. Ghost of Christmas Past, Ghost of Christmas Present, Ghost of Christmas Future, and they basically scare him into being a good person. It's very good. I highly recommend it. Go check it out. It's just a Christmas classic. So I hope you have enjoyed these recommendations. Please let me know in the comments down below if you decide to pick any of these up, or if you've already read them. Chat to me. I really want to know what you thought, and I shall see you later. Bye for now.